see you, son.
Lovely to see you. That was fantastic. That was great, wasn't it, girls?
I think they like that, yeah. Well, it's been some year for you, you won't forget. Roller coaster, I think, it comes to mind. Ups and downs, highs and lows. You left the group, your marriage went... and now a #1 record. And... So how are you coping with all this mix in your life?
It's been weird. I don't know how I'm coping with it. I'm just kind of getting on with it, really. And
A day at a time.
yeah, I'm only 24, and I think I've experienced more this year than I've experienced my whole life. So, but it's probably best that it all came together, so I can just hit rock bottom and then start again. So.
And you've obviously a lot of changes to adjust to, and now you're touring. And is it much fun? I know you've got the band, but you are centre stage. But is it as much fun as it was with the guys?
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a lot bigger with Westlife, and you're doing massive arenas, and you know, you've got lots and lots of fans following you everywhere. And now it's a little bit more low key.
Well.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more low-key now, and it's definitely different. But it's different to the word.
There are changes, just looking at you. I mean, you used to walk out looking like you're, you know, tailored, very smart, very sharp, and you got an account now with the Army Surplus, haven't you?
Sponsored by Oxfam.
I mean, seriously, is this the real you growing the beard, just wearing what you feel comfortable about?
Originally, actually, it was just a lazy me. I just stopped shaving because I just couldn't be bothered shaving every bloody day. Every day I was waking up in West 7, you had to shave, and I just got fed up of doing it when I finished, so I said no need anymore.
So there's that much that's cool about it and nice and relaxed.
Yeah, but I don't have to shave anymore, and I don't have to get out of bed as early for TV shows, which is great.
And was it a massive decision for you to leave the band? Because they were highly successful, as we've said, and it's a big decision to make, I would have thought.
It was a massive decision, but at the time, I don't think I ever had any doubt what I was going to do. I knew that if I wanted to be happy, I had to leave, because, you know, I was never getting to see the girls at all. It was 6, 7 weeks at a time being away.
You're talking about your daughters, of course.
Yeah, my 2 girls, Molly and Lily, sorry, yeah.
Not the girls.
Not my hoes.
And are you still friends with the guys? Do you still hook up with them sometimes?
Yeah, all the time. I spoke to them last week. We don't see as much as we did, obviously.
Because you're on the circuit, aren't you? Probably missing each other.
But no, it's kind of cool now. We catch up because we've so much to talk about. And we see each other. That's good.
And how amazing must you have felt, I don't know, when you went to #1, from leaving the band, you used to #1 position. When you
had
solo,
up Gene #1, 11 or something, hadn't you?
But to be on your own and achieve that, that's pretty amazing.
It was a bit weird, actually, I'll be honest with you, because the day I got #1 with Real to Me, it was more because it was kind of right in the middle of all the bad stuff in my personal life, so it wasn't really, it was a bit of a bittersweet thing, really.
There's a lot of changes going on. I noticed today, I said, the spelling of the name is different. You've taken out the Y and replaced it with an I. Why?
I actually haven't. My name
Silly
is...
question.
My name actually has always been spelled with an I. It was just when I joined Westlife, I changed it to a Y. I don't know, I was 18, I just thought it was a bit more cooler to be spelled with a Y. Everyone in Ireland spells Brian with an I, so I said I'd be different. So I changed back when I left.
And it's easier to write when you're doing a lot of those, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
A lot of the autographs.
And your new album, Irish Sun, you've had the chance to write and get involved very much so on the musical side for this album. Is it something you always wanted to get involved
Well, I've
with?
always been writing songs, even when I was in Westlife, but the style of songs I was writing never really suited Westlife. So I never really got to push my songs forward, which kind of probably suits me now because I got to keep a lot for my solo
I'm going to take up on one thing, though, because you said a quote somewhere in the notes that you didn't want to record things, you didn't really rush to things like Mandy and all the sensational songs, which I think probably, you know, Simon and maybe Lou were picking up for it. But they were such songs. I mean, would you...
No, they're amazing songs, don't get me wrong. I totally respect how good they were, and I did love doing some of them.
It's the platform, it's built for you now.
Yeah, absolutely.
To do your stuff.
Of course, but it's more about the in-house stuff at Westlife. When we made our last album, the last album I made with Westlife, there was, in my opinion, there was songs that Westlife had made our own original songs that were probably, they're not better than Mandy, but it would have been a better move for us to release our own material rather than just going back to doing covers.
You got that ahead of you.
Yeah. Now, we have to talk about the breakup with you and Kerry. You've touched on it just earlier. Would you say that your work commitments and being away from each other was the catalyst that broke?
I don't think you can pinpoint one thing to be the reason that we broke up. There's so many different things, and it'd be unfair to blame work because, you know, everybody works.
Was in fact, I hope I'm not being... Well, 3 weeks you knew each other and you were engaged. Isn't that sort of rushing it a bit? I mean, in hindsight, when you think, well, maybe we should have taken my time a little bit.
Yeah, but you know, for people on the outside, and looking back now, everyone's going to say, oh, you got married too young, or you done this and you done that. But at the time when we got engaged after 3 weeks, it felt like the most perfect thing in the world, and it was right. And when we got married, it was right. And when we had our kids, it was right. And just things change. But at the time, you know, I wouldn't go back and change it now because it all felt right at the time.
It couldn't have been ever easy for you two. There you were in this massive hit band with lots of fans, and then Kerry goes on and wins. We know what it's like, celebrity. We're here feeling it now, and all that hype and profile that couldn't have helped either.
It didn't really make a difference to us because that's all just the newspapers and the television. Our real life is what happens behind closed doors when we're at home, so that didn't affect that at all. We were still the same two people at home.
Could you just push it aside and forget
you
about
have to. You have to have two lives. You have to have your work life and then you have to have your private life. So I think it'd be unfair to say that our careers affected our marriage because you know our marriage was what we had at home.
Now, on a lighter note, I don't know if this is a rumour, and like you say, press right, whatever, but is it true you sent a funny text to the wrong person recently, and what was it? Was that...
It's true, you can tell it's true.
It was quite embarrassing because I met Chris Evans about a year ago. We were playing golf and he gave me his number. And I was just going to South Africa and I was in the lounge and I was bored, so I was going through my phone and I seen his number. Said, I'll just send Chris a text, you know, see is he keeping okay after his split with Billy. So I texted him and said, hi Chris, Brian McFadden here. I'm setting up a divorced men's club. If you're interested, please ring back. All members will play golf, drink beer and solicit prostitutes. But more of a slang way of saying that.
Yeah.
And I sent it. So about 10 minutes later, I was kind of falling asleep in the lounge and my phone beeped. And I picked it up and sent a message from Chris Evans. I was like, oh, cool, he answered back. So I opened it up. Hi, Brian, it's Billy here. This is my number, not Chris's. I was just like, I was just like, I didn't know where to go. But she took it and she thought it was funny.
That's
so
hilarious.
It was
That's
cool.
wonderful. All right, again, talking about pop, because I mean, if I know what you know about #1s and the sale of pop records, what do you think about just axing Top of the Pops? Did you see that going to happen?
I definitely didn't think. I think when Andy Peters took over, I think everyone was delighted. It made it a live show again, and I just thought the show was a lot better now, and I think it's quite sad they're axing it. But I think they're not axing it, they're moving it to a Sunday, live on a Sunday.
The last thing I heard, they were just giving it the shop altogether.
I think it's going to BBC Two on Sunday now.
Well, whatever you're doing, selling records out there on tour, enjoy your life, and I hope it's
Thank you.
a better year for you next year.
Brian.
Brian.